Proklamasi kami, bangsa Indonesia, dengan ini menyatakan kemerdekaan Indonesia.
That voice sounds really familiar to all Indonesians, very close to our hearts, evoking the spirit to fight and to always love our country, Indonesia. It is a proclamation declared by Indonesia's first president and vice president, Soekarno, Hatta, a moment that marks the end of a very long war of Indonesians against colonialism. Yep, colonialism.
Indonesia sedia mati untuk kemerdekaannya.
Pemuda dari Jawa dan Sumatera, pemuda dari Maluku, pemuda dari Sulawesi, pemuda dari Kalimantan berkumpul dalam Republik Indonesia memperjuangkan cita-cita Indonesia merdeka.
When I was in school, this is what I found in our history book, or maybe for so many Indonesians out there as well. We have a lot of experiences of being colonized by other countries. Portuguese, Spain, Dutch, French, British and Japanese. But when we hear about Indonesia's colonialism era, mostly the Dutch and the Japanese occupation that would come to our mind. The Dutch started to come to the Dutch East Indies, or now we call it Indonesia, in 1602. And it ended in 1942. Then we have the Japanese. This was the moment when the Japanese troops celebrated their landing at Merak, West Java, on the 1st of March 1942. The Japanese managed to stay in Indonesia for 3.5 years, and they ended the occupation when this happened.
If the Japanese insist on continuing resistance beyond the point of reason, their country will suffer the same destruction as Germany. A short time ago, an American airplane dropped one bomb on Hiroshima.
There were 4 people at that time: Sultan Syahrir, Wikana, Darwish and Khairul Saleh. They heard the news through the BBC radio. After hearing rumors that Japan would bend to its knees after losing the war, the young generation urged the leaders to immediately proclaim Indonesian independence and use this as a chance to end the Japanese occupation, to end this long journey of suffering. On August 17th every year, we celebrate the Indonesian Independence Day. Held the ceremony, eating competition, parade of costume, and everything. A happy ending story for us. Well, that's basically the history that stays in my mind for years. I have this solid black and white story in my mind. Literally that made me hate all the Dutch and all the Japanese. Yes, all of them. Every single one of them. Especially when I saw some of these pictures. It's called Rōmusha. Until I heard the name Tomokazu Kaneko and Sizuo Miyamoto.
金子さんは血気盛んなインドネシアの青年たちの独立運動を支援し、青年組織アンカタンムラの全国大会の会場を提供しますが、
ダムの大会を開いた時に政治的なことはやらないでほしいということであるけれども、内心は独立してほしいと おそらくみんな将兵ともみんな思ってた。遅すぎたという思いで許したので。
敗戦と同時に日本軍は連合軍より独立運動を取り締まるよう命令されます。しかし日本軍の多くはインドネシアに密かに武器を渡し独立を支援しました。その一人宮本静夫さん。
とかしてこれをそっとインドネシアに渡す方法を考えにゃいかんと。そのために日本軍が武器を持ってそのまま置いとるともう必ず日本軍とインドネシアとの間の衝突になって、連合軍も大変なことになる。それで、軍隊を武装解除して全部山に引き上げて、それで武器を持たない軍属法人だけを町に残したもんですから、さあ取ってくださいという体制を取ったもんですからね。今うまい知恵を出したもんと我ながら良かったと思ってるところです。
Those two Japanese started to make me think about getting to know the other side of the story. What happened to Hiroshima after the atomic bomb? How's the people there back then? Were they all this kind of the same person to those who came for the war and blood? And is there something that we can learn from Hiroshima? I decided to learn from the atomic bomb survivor story. Hibakusha, that's how they call them in Japanese. The atomic bomb survivor. Shigeaki Mori. Hibakusha and also a Japanese historian, he is known for his research into Allied prisoners of war who died during the air raids on Japan. He spent 20 years of his life researching and obtaining official recognition for United States aviators who were killed while being held as the POWs in the Chicago military police headquarters in Hiroshima.
もう私とアメリカ人の遺族との間はね、もう建前とかそんなものはない。本音と本音ですよ。やっぱりね、人間と人間との付き合いをした私に言わせたらアメリカもイギリスもオランダも敵国じゃなかった。同じ人間、国を代表して戦った本来でしたら英雄になるべき人ですよ。
Tell our children a different story, one that describes a common humanity. Ordinary people understand this, I think. Like the man who sought out families of Americans killed here because he believed their loss was equal to his own.
Well, that's the people. Now let's take a look at how Hiroshima rebuilt, reconstructed everything and stand again. From this to this. And here's the explanation from Professor Luli van der Does, professor at Hiroshima University.
12 months after the bombing, Mr. Hamai, the new mayor of Hiroshima, held the first peace ceremony near the hypocenter. He delivered a speech to acknowledge the excruciating pain of the survivors and to promise the community's recovery, not by anger, money, or material affluence, but by solidarity and the commitment of people to build a city of peace together. Since that day, every year except one, Hiroshima's peace ceremony has been held, renewing the promises. By that promise, the survivors have gained independence from the bondage of the past pain. They have gained the hope to rebuild the city and rebuild their lives. You see, hope sustains life, even under the harshest of circumstances, and the hope that we share in and beyond communities has made Hiroshima a city of peace. The same hope for peace in solidarity can also be found in the people of Indonesia, I believe.
Tomokazu Kaneko, Sizuo Miyamoto, and Shigeaki Mori give me another perspective from the other side of the story. I absolutely condemn colonialism. However, I also realize many evil leaders out there did not represent many of us. How far have we come to an end for this? Will we have to suffer from another nuclear bomb? Or another occupying territory story to take other people's lives? Happy Independence Day, Indonesia. Dirgahayu Indonesia.